Hi there, what's going on, people? We have a message from Mobeen Hyder. Hey, bruv, noticed after relapse, the first 3 days are the hardest, and that's where most of us fall into a binge cycle. So, can you explain how to get through the first depressing days? Yep, that's so true. First 3 days, I don't know what it is about 3 days, but even when I was giving up smoking, the first 3 days were the hardest, and then after that, it just got easier and easier for me. But I understand what you're saying, because obviously after you relapse, the main thing is to try and avoid the. It depends on the length of your streak. If you're on a short streak, it's gonna be more. When if you're on like a week-long streak or whatever, and you relapse, I feel like you're gonna be more inclined to fall back into a mad cycle of PMO. But if you're on a long streak and you relapse once, I feel like you have the power to try and limit the amount of times that you relapse after that. Because I sort of feel like it's more through choice that you end up doing so. Because from experience, for me, I would relapse after a long streak, and I'd be like, I've relapsed, I might as well have a bit of fun. A few more times won't really affect me, and then the next thing you know, you're hooked on relapsing, and then it all just goes pear-shaped. Because I feel like after a long streak, you have you've built up a lot of benefits. That's a lot of benefits in that time that a relapse or two, even 5 relapses or whatever, not really gonna uh, mess you up too much, but slowly you see the damage, and it's just you're trying to get back onto it. But the first 3 days, I don't know how long your streak is or how long your streak's been, but if you're on a long streak and you relapse, I don't feel like the first 3 days should be that difficult. You just got you've had a relapse, you probably had two, you've just got to like get back onto it and realize what you're doing and where you're messing up. But if you're like getting on little streaks, 4 days, 5 days, 4 days, six, I said four already, but you know what I'm saying, the small streaks, a relapse is going to be hard because you're just going to end up binging, and you're going to be like, oh, I'm messed up, I'll start next week, I'll start on Monday, blah blah blah. But you understand that your mindset in them moments is going to be weak. Your mindset's going to be on PMO. It's going to be hard. It's going to be like a sort of, it's not going to be perfect from my experience. You're not going to have a perfect day of no looking, no touching, and things like that. Your main focus should be to not release. That's the way I do it, because I know my mind is just going to be weak. I'm going to be looking at stuff and touching and things like that. But my main focus is don't release. The next day, don't release. The next day, don't release. Next thing you know, you've got to a week, and then you think, right, I've got a week under my belt now. Let's not mess this up. And then you notice after that, you go a few days without looking at anything or touching and stuff like that. And then you just got to build on from there. Like, I understand that the first few days can be hard. It's just like any addiction, like giving up smoking. Obviously, the first few days you're going to be craving and it's going to be hard. But the main thing is to realize that you're in control of your body. Like, your mind's going to be there pushing you and tempting you, but you are in control. You can say no. Like, obviously, if you're depressed and you're stressed and stuff like that, you're going to be more susceptible to a relapse. But I feel like you should write down while you're doing it and stuff like that, and just have it there visible so you can see. Because when you're feeling that way, it's hard to imagine what it feels like when you're on a streak. Obviously, you know the benefits of being on the streak, but once you're in a mad relapse cycle, it's hard to remember, because your mind and judgment's clouded by the dopamine and the euphoria that comes with PMOing. So the first few days are definitely going to be hard, but you've just got to take it day by day and just say no. Because it's easy to say, oh, I relapsed yesterday, it's only one day, let me just do it again, I'll start this day, I'll start that day. So you just got to be strong, fight through, try not to release day by day. Get through one day, get through 2 days, get through 3 days. Try and get to the week. Once you get to the week, I feel like it will ease up. And then the best thing you can do when it gets to that point is don't look at nothing you shouldn't be looking at. Try not to touch yourself. And then it just builds up from there. I hope that helps. That's my experience and what I go through. Hope that helps you out. Any questions, leave them down below. I'll do my best to answer them, and I'll see you in the next video. By the way, I did mention I am on day 11 now, I believe, of this streak. So still going good. I'm trying to hit that 2-week mark, which comes in 3 days, and then yeah, we're on to roll to a good streak. Peace.